Paige from Paige's Picks here on the UpCycle Canada podcast for the first time ever.
Well, everybody, we're here on the UpCycle Canada podcast for the very first time to have an interview. And we have a very important guest.
Yes.
Like we had to pay a lot of money for this.
I know.
Like a lot of money to have this guest on, and I'm so thankful she had time for us because she's so busy picking things that she likes on a regular basis and telling people about it.
Yep. Weekly basis.
This is our favorite employee.
Yes.
Of all the employees we have, she is our favorite.
Yes.
Yes. This is Dave and Jen's pick for best employee of the year.
It's Paige.
Have I done enough?
It's good.
That's good.
Yes, yeah.
This is Paige
Yes.
Hi.
from UpCycle Canada.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
Paige. UpCycle Canada. Yes. Hey.
I'm
It's you.
doing amazing.
I
Hi,
know who
everybody.
you are.
It's Paige from UpCycle
Are you
Canada.
doing good?
Or you might know me from Paige's Picks. But yeah, this is so exciting. So cool. I'm on the UpCycle Canada podcast. I can't believe it. Never would I have ever thought I would be on a podcast.
Have you been on a podcast before?
No.
Wow.
Wow.
We're doing this first timer.
I'm nervous now. I'm nervous.
This is my second time.
Second time being on a podcast?
Well, on a video one. Yes.
On a video one, yes. Well, welcome, Paige.
Yes, thank you.
We're so thankful that you have time for us. Is your family hiding in the background?
No, they are not.
Okay, all right. Just want to see if they'd be like popping in or something. That'd freak me out. But hey, say hi to them for us. Your family is awesome.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to jump right in, Paige. You found UpCycle Canada when? How long ago?
I found UpCycle Canada during the summer, a few summers back. I would say about 2.
Okay.
I was actually on a bike ride. I was going to the old shop that used to be by UpCycle. It's changed a few times since, but back then it was Homestead. And I went into Homestead and I noticed that there is a new store in the plaza. So I figured I had to check it out.
Nice.
Right on.
And that's pretty much the story.
So you were how old then?
I think I was 13
years old.
Crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. So you come to the store and you meet the nicest guy ever. Right?
I met Dave.
Yes.
My
And
first
what did
time
you think?
Ever in the store. And he was very surprised to see me, actually. He was very surprised. I don't think he had any customers that day.
Yeah, no. So your first impressions of this great guy named Dave?
My first impressions were that he's very nice,
Thank
obviously.
Let's see.
And that he had just, how do you say, he wanted to give time to tell me everything about his passion. He was so interested in, well, he had a passion for his passion, which is good. And he was the type of person that could talk about that for hours, which I absolutely adored because I wanted to know everything about this place.
Have you ever heard the word upcycle before that?
I had, actually, yeah.
Okay. So you kind of knew what it was about.
You didn't think it was... Did you think it was a bicycle shop?
I did not.
No, okay, good.
I was on a bike, though.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
you were on a bike, yeah. And you've seen people come to the store with a bike, right? It's like, no, that's not what we do. No. Right?
I know.
Yeah, thanks, but no. Okay, so you come in the store, you take a walk around, and you go home. What do you tell your family?
I told my family right away. They were all in the pool. I told them I was just at Homestead, walked into the store in the plaza. You have to check it out. It is so cool. The employee walked me around for the longest time and told me everything about it. I'm obsessed. And I actually bought 2 things. I think I remember that.
Yeah.
But I went back and bought more.
And more.
Right after I told them all that. For my father, for Father's Day.
And your family went shopping without you once. How did that go?
Impressed. I was very mad at them. I was like, what are you doing in my store? That's my place.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I love it.
And then you even booked the store for a private shopping event. like we had, because of COVID and everything, we had some restrictions. So we had a thing on our website where you could book time in the store, come shop, and the store would be all yours. And you did. You came, your parents walked you over with the dog, and you came shopping, and they kept walking. And I'm like, this is crazy.
It's like they're not coming in with you?
Yeah. And you're like, I think you were 14 at that time,
yes,
roughly. And I'm like, wow, this person is amazing. Like, you really do care about the store, which was like, I remember telling Jen, like, this is a really cool experience to have a customer come back, which is great. But somebody at your age to understand what we do and just get it was really encouraging to us.
Yeah, for sure.
To have you come back, right? So that was really neat. So we kind of progressed a little bit along, and not only were you a great customer for us, there was an opportunity to do a little bit more with you. And I think we contacted your mom first.
I called your mom. Yeah.
Your mom first, just so we didn't kind of bypass that. But we said, we really would like to talk to Paige about working in the store.
Oh, it was the cool thing was when I called your mom, she said, you guys had just had this conversation that morning about you finding a part-time job and wanting to have some extra cash of your own. And then I called like 4 hours later, and it's like offering you a job. And she's like, holy cow, like you have no idea how good timing this is. So, yeah. So it's been great. And so from then, I think I said, give it a couple days, like talk it over. And it's like, she couldn't wait to call us back. So, and say yes.
So what was it like on your end when you found out that we were interested?
Actually, I was downstairs in my basement, watching TV, and my mom came down and she goes, I just got off the phone she called you guys UpCycle Canada because obviously we didn't know you as well as we do now. And she said they want you to work there. I think I screamed of like joy.
Right on.
So excited. I was like, my favorite place, and they just want me to work there.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
What?
Yeah.
So were you looking for jobs at that time?
Actually, no, I never really did the full job search, but I knew I'd wanted to start working. But obviously there weren't many options for someone of my age.
Right.
Did you have any idea where you might work before UpCycle?
I had thought about it a bit. I thought of waitressing because I know my mom has told me several stories about when she waitressed, but honestly, I've actually made calls to a few places. They don't hire until you're like 16. It's really not that great.
No.
It's not as good as UpCycle Canada.
I love it. Good on. Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer. So you start with UpCycle Canada. You start working at the store, and quickly you do start into the Paige's Picks, which the vendors in our store love because you get to talk about the product and you're getting a lot of views online. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are really anticipating and looking forward to the next Paige's Picks all the time. So that's kind of working out really well.
Yeah.
And then you're helping with classes too, with our kids' classes and some of our other classes. So tell me what it's like to do a class and be the leader of a class at UpCycle Canada.
You know what? It's actually the most fun experience. You wouldn't expect it. But those kids, they're so shy at first because they just see you as an authority figure. And at first you're like, me? Like, you got to think about it because all my life, I mean, it's been I look up to a teacher. And then all of a sudden I'm the teacher and they're looking up to me. And I'm like, why are you so shy? Like, I don't bite. Like, you can talk to me. And they're like, but they look at me like I'm an authority figure. And I really just want to bond with these kids. And after the class is over, these kids love me. And they're having a great time. And it just feels so great to start off with them super shy. And then at the end, they're talking to you like you're their best friend. It's so cool.
And what I like too, Paige, is you've done some classes with students who might not normally go to a class because of maybe some of the things that are happening in their life, or things that have happened to them, and they just don't have the confidence to go out and do a class like that or be in a group setting. And you've had interactions with people like that, and you've been able to kind of help them. And you kind of approach it a certain way that makes people feel comfortable, right? Even people your own age come to a class
Right.
and they just seem to identify with you and feel safe with you. So how is it that people feel safe with Paige?
Well, I've had anxiety, and so I know that if someone's kind of a bit shy and like they're not unapproachable, like they don't, not that they're not approachable, but they don't want to approach you in that way, you have to approach them. And you have to obviously kind of study them and start with maybe one of their interests that you've noticed. And then they really open up to you once they notice that you're someone that they can talk to.
Okay. That's
really
great.
cool.
And you have a gentle approach too. You're not loud and make people back up. You're very accommodating. When people come in the store, that's what some of the feedback that we get is that you're very approachable. And people, like when parents come in with small children, you're right there with the kids. Somebody comes in with their dog, you're there with the dog, right? Like you're just that type of person that you're just always excited to meet people and put yourself out there. And it's noticeable by customers. And we get feedback on that. So good job on that, right? For a first real job like you have with us, you're really killing it, which is great. And the customers really enjoy spending time with you and getting to know you. So
Well, I love kids.
That's kind of why we wanted you on the
I love
podcast too, is we want people to see and understand and get to know you a little bit better.
One thing, there we go. One thing I know when I watched you do your first class, I was there just as a supervisor kind of thing, just in case there was any issues or whatever. But I liked the fact that you had taken the time to know the kids' names prior to them coming. So they each knew they had their seat and they made little name cards and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool that you took time, like you prepared for it. You were ready for them and, kind of introduced yourself and then shared where they could sit. And so it was just kind of a neat extra thing that you went above and beyond. You knew to be prepared for it, which was really great.
So, yes, I've noticed before, when kids come in that sometimes they're like a bit shy as to what to do. And so I feel like the name cards do help if they're shy and then they know, oh, well, my name's here. Like I do sit here. Because they might be shy to sit down or like put an apron on. But if you do that for them,
right,
it's a gentle push that makes them feel more comfortable, which I think it helps a lot.
Cool.
That's amazing. So, Paige, talk a little bit about upcycling and what it means to you as far as the environment and as far as what we do and why upcycling beyond a store, why UpCycle Canada means something to you personally.
Well, upcycling means a lot to me because I love to help out people who need it, but I also feel like the environment needs a help with itself. And so upcycling really does help, just like recycling. But I feel like it helps a bit more because it is helping the environment by not having to use or make more of one product to that you don't need as much material to be created and then imported. Let me explain this. When you import supplies, it will actually pollute the earth by how far it's traveling. And our clothes actually travel further that they do to get to a store than how far we will ever wear them in our entire lives.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they travel farther to get to the store than they will ever with us wearing them.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the amount of natural resources that are used to make clothes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like water that's used to make a pair of jeans, right? The amount of natural resources.
It's the exact same.
Yeah.
It's the exact same with what we do, with how we reuse anything, honestly. People, what they think is garbage we can take that and we can make it something beautiful that they're just going to buy again. And it's like, that might have been on your front lawn for the garbage to take out. And we just made that into something else. And it could be the exact same person buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's all about repurposing. When you talk to your friends at school and the people you know your age and you tell them what you do, are they confused about upcycling? Like, do they get it?
Oh, they are 100% confused.
Oh, really? Okay. So tell me about that.
It's really interesting because even just the business name, they're like, what is that? But once you explain it, it's like they're getting this whole shock and they honestly think, oh, that was a dumb question to ask, because you just have to explain it. But at first you wouldn't know what upcycling is, but it's exactly what it sounds like. You are creating something totally new and just reselling it so that you don't have to use this more supplies or anything. You're just using what people would think of as trash, but it's not. And people my age or people at school, they don't really realize that that's a thing.
Are you finding that when, like, you're in your normal everyday life, that you are now looking for things to upcycle that you might not have thought of before you had a job at UpCycle Canada?
Oh yeah. Everything my household looks at, if we're about to throw it out, my mom even will question herself. She'll be like, hey Paige, could UpCycle use this? And I find it's just so cool. I'll look at something and I'll be like, hey, I could bring this to UpCycle. It's just so nice to see even that my family cares so much.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
the support from your family, Paige, has been amazing. Like, to have you with us is great. We really love having you with us. But it's like we got the whole family as a package, though. Like, you all come together.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
well look, there's boomerang paint right
On
behind
the
me.
wall, yeah, boomerang, yeah. So, like, it's like you guys are, for Jen and I, like, this is a small business, right? It started with an idea back in 2014, and we've been working at this for a long time. And then to have a store, and then now to have customers, and then to have a customer that becomes an employee and a friend, I would say, yes. It's great to see that process happen, right? It's encouraging for us because, like I said, we've been doing this for a long time and doing this alone. And then to have somebody else that's a cheerleader that's also then jumping on the camera and on social media and saying, guys, come to the store and check it out, right? It's encouraging for us. So thank you for that. Like, it's really nice to have somebody who really does get it, right? And we don't have to teach you how to get it. You just get it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of encouraging for us.
Totally.
So what have you learned about small business in general, not just upcycling, but working in a small business?
Well, working at a small business obviously will open your eyes to all kinds of new thoughts, new possibilities, and everything. But really just, it makes you think on how much people spend at big box stores and how much of a waste they are. It really just hits you, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. But honestly, working at UpCycle has made me change my point of view on everything so much. Like, this year for Christmas, I did a small business Christmas where I bought everything.
Nice.
All the gifts that I've bought were from small businesses.
Good.
I've done small business birthdays. I've done like birthday gifts for people, all from small businesses. I just really think that they need our help more than anything. And if you guys can support a small business, it's way better than spending money at a big box store or anything like that.
Nice.
And it won't just affect the money that you're spending or anything like that, but it'll change how, like, your point of view on the world, on society, and it'll give you a heartwarming feeling once you learn all about the small business.
Good. And do you like working in a small business because you get a little bit of variety in what you do? You don't have one task, like you're not just flipping a hamburger every day. you're actually doing a variety of things, right?
I love it.
I make her work hard in the back room.
Yeah.
She's like my little elf in the back. We're always painting and working on something, but yeah.
So you
It's
like
great.
the variety
I
then?
love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so what's it like to work with Jen? I have to live with her, but what's it like to work with her?
Working with her is super fun. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, it's slower now that Christmas is over. And so there's a lot of time to just talk and hang out. And it's honestly awesome. You know, we bond, we work and we'll bond. We'll talk about shows. We talked about Schitt's Creek. And her Moira impression is just spot on.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep. Moira. David.
Really? David.
David.
David. Yes.
David.
I am David, by the way. Ew, David.
Yeah.
Yes. That's me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
One thing I wanted to bring up, because I know you and I at Christmas we had an NHL hockey mom, remember, come shopping with us. And so after we realized, she came in shopping and just kind of said that her kids, were hockey players and teachers and stuff. So she bought something for all her family. And it wasn't until we were really taking the things to her car that we realized, oh my goodness, it's an NHL hockey player. And so we came back into the store and we both did the happy dance thing. We were just oh my gosh, we legitimately just sold so many things to a cool person, and
Right.
how many people might now know about us just because of who they are. And yeah, I remember doing a little power dance and happy dance at the front of the store when she left. So
That's cool.
I remember even texting my parents,
oh,
so-and-so's mom, I forget the player,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Ben Harper.
Ben
Yeah,
Harper.
that's right.
Ben
Ben
Harper's
Harper.
mom
Yeah.
just spent $560 in my store. Earned
Yeah.
$460.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty close to 500. Yep. Yeah.
So to think about a hockey player who's going to unwrap a present from our store.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
of all the things you could buy him, to have something that's made out of a hockey stick makes sense.
Right.
But it seems like really you're going to shop at our store. You have so many options that you could shop at.
I know.
But we're the only UpCycle Canada store in Canada. That's it.
Exactly.
There is no other UpCycle
No.
Canada store. So
it's incredible.
it's a one-of-one gift
Yeah.
that you can't get anywhere else. Right? That's pretty cool. I like that. So, and I'm glad you guys had that experience. That's
pretty
really
cool.
neat.
Yep.
Any customers, you don't have to say their names, but any customers that stand out to you that you're just excited of what happened, or a story that comes to your mind from being at the store?
Actually, yes. There was one. Dave had told me a story about someone who had bought a gift for his friend, and it was one of our wine holders. And it just looks kind of like wood with a little circle in it. And he gave it to his friend and didn't tell him what it was. And the guy's like, well, thanks for this piece of wood. And the customer came in to the store and talked to me when he was looking at those, that product. And he's like, I bought one of these for my friend. And I didn't tell him what it was. And I'm like, oh, you're the guy from the story.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I love it. Yeah, they send each other joke presents all the time. And it's one of those leaning bottle holders, and you put the bottle in.
That's right.
And it kind of floats
Just
in midair.
hangs there on its
So
own.
yeah, he sent him nothing. Just that piece of wood. And the
That's
guy's
right.
holding it.
It's cut on an angle. You can't
what
even
am I
hold
going
it
to do with
upright.
this? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So UpCycle Canada is something that you enjoy, but what else does Paige like to do? Let's learn a little bit more about you. Tell me more about Paige, kind of where you're headed in life, what you think you might be doing, if you know, and what you kind of feel like your future holds for you.
Well, currently, I'm going to start with that. I'm doing cheer at a local gym called Spirit Athletics. It is an all-inclusive gym.
Good.
They really focus on that, which I really enjoy. If I could talk
Nice.
about that for just a few seconds.
Yeah, go.
It was actually
Sure.
founded because the guy that founded it, his name is Reese Ottaway. He had bad experiences at gyms because they weren't inclusive of certain lifestyles or anything like that. And actually, almost every single person at that gym has had bad experiences at other gyms. And that's why we're founded, because of it's for inclusivity. That's the whole purpose of that gym. And I'm actually volunteering there currently, coaching certain teams. I'm coaching a lot of teams with younger kids and a special needs team.
Nice. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
How many people are like in a group with you at one time?
So I do have another person working with me at all times, because there's a lot of kids. We can have from like 4 to about 8 kids at a time.
Wow.
So it can get kind of wild. We try and put a limit on the kids, but you can never fully control parents and what they decide to do.
Right. Yes. Okay, so that's what you're doing currently, and you're in high school. So do you have plans for the future school-wise?
Well, my plan is to go to university, but I haven't decided what I want to study or anything.
Okay. Going to study upcycling? That's a topic.
Maybe. I would like to work at UpCycle for the rest of my life. That's what I did tell my career teacher. I told her I don't really know what I want to do with life, but I know that I want to work at UpCycle for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
Oh, got me right in the feels. Right in the feels. Did you get it? Right in the feels.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the people from school are like, "What's an upcycle?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But you could explain it. That's great. Right. And so we talked about school. We talked about upcycling. And we talked about a little bit about sports. What if Paige had any chance tomorrow when you get up? I know you're going to come into the store, which is great. But if you had a complete day to yourself, and you had no responsibilities, you had nothing you had to do, it's your day, you could do whatever you want, go anywhere you want, there's no restrictions, no one will say no, money's no object, you can do anything in the world you want to do, what would you do?
All right. So I would start my day off at Blue Mountain skiing. Okay. Nice. Or I should probably start it local. I'll start it at UpCycle. Right off the bat. Then I'll go to Blue Mountain ski, and then I'll go to Rome, Italy, because I've always wanted to go there.
Nice.
What about Rome, Italy catches your eye or makes you want to go?
I just want to go and take all the pictures that I can of the beautiful, beautiful city, because I've never been, and it seems like one of those places that you have to at least visit once in your life just to take pictures.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where in the world have you been that you really liked and you want to go back?
Turks and Caicos. I went when I was about 3 or 4 with my entire family. Wow. And it was just such an amazing experience. And I really, really want to go back.
Awesome.
That's cool.
So do you have a message for people who are going to be listening to this? I don't want to scare you or throw you off, but right now we're in 30 countries. Just recently we're in Dubai and New Zealand and China and Iran. We're really big in Iran for some reason, which is really cool. So we have people who are listening to your voice now around the world, which is mind-blowing. Yeah. What would you like to tell all of the listeners to the UpCycle Canada podcast about Paige, about your journey, about the store? You can say whatever you want to tell these people now. They're all listening to you. Mm-hmm. What do you want to tell the world about upcycling?
What I want to tell the world about upcycling is probably that y'all need to come to our store. That would be my first thing. But it has an enormous impact on everything with the world, global warming, and just so much. It has an impact on society, actually. How society like really will view upcycling, and I think that we could truly make it the new thing where everybody wants to get on upcycling. They want to start upcycling. I really want them to realize how cool what we're doing is.
And
Cool.
it really does matter, right?
It does.
Even the smallest little thing matters, right?
Yeah.
And there's a story that we posted on our Instagram page about the starfish. I don't know if you read it yet or you heard the story about the starfish, but it's a story about as an old man walking along the beach by the ocean. The tide had come in and washed a bunch of starfish up onto the beach. And then the tide went back out, and all these starfish are stranded on the beach. And without any help, they're all going to die. They're just not, they can't get back in the ocean. They're stranded. And there's this little boy picking up one starfish at a time and just throwing it back in the ocean, right? But there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of starfish all over the beach. But he's picking up one and he's throwing it in. He's picking up another one, throwing it in. And this old man walks up to the boy and says, "There's too much here. There's no way you can save every starfish. There's no way that your efforts are going to mean anything to anyone. So why are you doing this? Why are you upcycling? There's so much garbage in the world. Nobody really cares. Why are you doing this?" Okay. That's kind of the message that the man was telling the boy. And the boy, with that message, the boy reached down and picked up another starfish and said, "You know what? It might not matter to all of them. I might not make an impact on every starfish on the beach, but it matters to this one." And he threw it in the ocean, right? And that's kind of how I look at and how we look at, combined, the three of us, upcycling. Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't get it. There's a lot of people who don't upcycle or think of ways to reduce the waste that they create in life. But there's three people who care, who really want to make a difference. We have customers. We have followers on Instagram and Facebook and online on social media who listen to you and your Paige's picks. There are people that are starting to get it, right? And with your help, having you with us is helping us to spread that message. And it's like, I just picture you every time you do a Paige's picks, or you come in with your joyful smile and your happiness, and you interact with customers. It's like you're picking up another starfish and you're throwing it in the ocean. Like, you are making an impact. It might seem small, right? We're only one store. We're only three people.
Yeah.
We can only do what we can do, but we're doing something, right? And that's what we love about having you with us, is you're actually not just talking about it, thinking about it, watching a Netflix show about it. You're doing something about it. At your age.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any concept of this at your age.
No.
When I was your age, no. When we were your age, we threw everything in the garbage. It didn't matter what it was, it just went in the garbage.
That's right.
And that's a terrible history to have in the back of our minds, because you're starting somewhere that we're not. And I think the world's going to be better with people like you who get it at your age.
Right.
Because you're going to make difference. You're going to make a difference that we can't. So the fact that you love being with us and working at UpCycle Canada, it fuels us and makes us want to do more. So it's because of you and because of what you're doing to help us grow our business. So thank you for that. Really. You're making a difference, Paige.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Well,
No.
You are.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say.
But does that story kind of make sense now about the starfish?
Story. The whole time I was like, you know what? He's helping the one. Even if he doesn't get them all, he is helping. He's doing something to help, which it will make a difference, even if it's not huge, even if it's just the tiniest little difference, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
And you can't forget that.
I just imagine the three of us standing at the landfill, at the dump, and watching all the trucks rolling in, and just the garbage, just the amount of garbage that's coming. And the three of us looking at each other going, are our efforts even doing anything? Like, look at all this waste.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference because we're doing it with whatever we can. We're trying our best, and we're using every possible tool to spread the message so that more people become aware of upcycling.
Right.
And just get it. And if we can start with your generation, people your age, I think there's a better chance for the planet than when it was our generation when we were your age. Because again, it didn't matter back then, unfortunately. And now we're paying the price. And that's sad.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So now that we have the store, I think it's a great platform now that we can kind of tell people and give people knowledge. And that's what I like when we do our posts on social media. We're not just selling a product, but we're trying to help people think about upcycling in a different way and not just throwing everything away.
Myself, I know recently, the nice thing, like I've seen on a Saturday when we're working together, we'll have people just come open the door and it's like, I have like this to donate. I had it at the road and nobody picked it up, but I didn't want the garbage men to get it. So I brought it to you. And so it was just kind of a neat, those little stools we had on Saturday. So, but it's neat to see, like we've had a number of people bring in like a headboard or just different things that they would have burned or thrown away normally. And the word's definitely getting out there. Like you said, one day at a time, one starfish at a time, people are starting to realize the importance of it all. So,
yeah. It's great to have you a part of it, Paige.
Yep, very much.
It really is.
It's great to be a part of it.
It's awesome. And I hope that your dreams come true and that you work for us for the rest of your life.
That's right.
I don't know if your family will be like, oh, okay. All right. I thought you were going to be like a teacher or something, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
You
for
wanna
sure
pick it up?
think that. They for sure think that.
Yeah?
It's actually interesting. We have 36 teachers in my family
No. Oh my goodness.
And
that are
one
that are
upcycler.
alive.
Then one.
Yeah. And one upcycler. Right? You're the only upcycler.
That's right.
Yeah, I love it. That's cool. So what do you want to leave people off with, Paige? What do you want them to know? And
A challenge.
what's
Yeah,
a challenge?
Like yeah.
What's a challenge that you want to leave with our listeners so that they will upcycle more or be more aware of upcycling?
Them to read the article that I think there's a picture of Dave in, and it's just about upcycling and our store. It was in the newspaper, and
Cool.
I think that could make them
Yep.
realize a little bit more about upcycling. Even if they do listen to this podcast and everything, I think, why not read an article?
Okay.
Right.
I'll put a link to that article in the podcast notes so people can click on it and read it. That's really cool. I like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Anything else for Paige?
I don't think
It's getting close to her bedtime.
I know. It's getting late.
It's great, Paige. Again,
Thank you.
we're so happy to have you with us. We're so happy you took a chance on our store way back when you were 13 and you wanted to come in and see it. You've had a big impact. I know you're going to have a big impact going forward. And like I said, Jen and I are thrilled to have you with us. And good things are ahead.
Mhm.
And we're watching your life and watching your future with great anticipation because we know there's going to be great things coming for you because great things happen to great people. So you remember that, okay?
Mhm.
And you always will have our support. You'll always have our whatever you need from us, we will always do for you.
Yeah.
Okay? So I know that I am Paige's pick for best manager at UpCycle Canada. Sorry,
I'm
Jen.
the supervisor.
I
I'll
know
be the
that
best
I am
supervisor.
Paige's pick. I know. So We can all agree on that right now before we close and document that as fact.
Well, she gets to work with you tomorrow. So
Tomorrow, Paige
you
and I
can
are
make
going to
that call then.
kill
Yeah.
it. We're going to kill it. Everything's half price at the store tomorrow.
That's right. Seriously.
Well, nobody will know because the podcast will come
No,
out
that's
after.
true.
But that's okay.
And then it'll already be gone. Tomorrow will already be over. So yes.
So, Paige, you're going to do a Paige's pick tomorrow?
A midweek pick.
You know,
Yes.
gotta
Yeah. You're on for that.
let those fans know that I'm
got
here, alive.
That's right. And I love the, hi, it's Paige's Picks.
I love
That
it.
is the signature Paige's Picks.
And the
hand.
bye.
And the bye. Bye.
I love it. It's so great.
That's our favorite.
I know.
So, yeah. So tomorrow we'll see you at the store. Thank you so much, Paige. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Good.
So I could stop.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for being our very first interview.
Yes.
You killed it. Good job.
Awesome.
Say hi to your family for us, okay?
All right.
Bye.
All right. See ya. Bye.